Hi guys, it's Heather and Molly, and we want to welcome you back to part 2 of this coaching series.
We're excited that you're here with us. For those of you who have already seen video 1, you'll remember that we started diving into the 3 surprising health trends or myths that could be hurting you and your family. And if you haven't watched that video yet, be sure to watch that one first.
Exactly. So, Molly, which health trend stuck out to you most?
I'm thinking gluten-free. And it's such a hot topic right now, but packaged foods with the label gluten-free can be packed with sugar and lots of non-clean ingredients that could be harming our bodies, so pretty shocking.
Yeah, it's true. And the reason we put this series together is because we've both been there. I mean, we were once uneducated as to how to actually eat clean, and then after a light bulb moment,
when we started doing clean eating challenges,
we knew we were onto something special.
Yeah,
you know, Molly, I mean, after having 8,000 plus challengers go through our 30-day challenge, we can say that it's more than special. It's making real change in the world.
You know, it's exciting. And speaking of real change, let's show everyone how our health advisors coach people in our challenges and actually teach them about real nutrition. Let's talk sugar. And I'm sure you've got some examples here of labels containing the words low fat, gluten-free, and you can also show us how healthy sugars are hiding in our foods.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, so in fact, Heather, how much sugar does the American Heart Association advise us to eat each day?
Great question, Malls. Here's the thing, it might shock you a little bit. So first of all, preschoolers should be limiting their sugar to about 4 teaspoons, which is 16 grams a day.
I've got a preschooler, okay.
Yep. Children ages 4 to 8 should limit to about 3 teaspoons, which is 12 grams of sugar a day.
Got one of those too.
And then once you hit your preteen and teens and adults, you know, depending on if you're male or female, it really needs to be broken down into 5 to 8 teaspoons, which is really around 20 to 32 grams of sugar a day. And we know that, Molly, because there is, math. Okay. We have to do some math.
I'm not good at numbers, Heather, but I know what you're gonna make me do here. So I'm absolutely prepared with my bag of sugar. Which
Love this.
I know you like sugar, so you stay away.
I will.
Okay?
I'm not gonna touch it.
Okay.
Get your jar.
All right, got my jar, and I've got my teaspoon.
Love it.
Okay.
So there is 4 grams of sugar in 1 teaspoon.
Got it. I can do this. Okay.
You can do this, but let's just show everyone what that actually even just what 1 little teaspoon looks like.
Okay. So 1 teaspoon of sugar is going to look like that.
Awesome. So
now we gotta dump it back in.
Dump it back in. But that's 4 grams. So I kind of just want to walk you through what a day could look like for, I'm gonna say a family or one individual.
Okay. Maybe somebody trying to eat healthy but not really sure there might be some
Exactly.
Okay.
So what we're gonna say is, let's just say you're gonna be healthy and you're gonna go with something like a granola, because everyone seems to think that granola is super duper healthy. And you also know that almond milk is a better version possibly than dairy, so.
And you might be lactose intolerant, so that's a great option.
Okay. So let's see. First of all, what people don't recognize frequently is that there's actual serving sizes. When it comes to cereal, many people just do that.
Yeah, you fill the bowl,
You fill the bowl, right?
Makes sense.
And after you've had 1 bowl, you fill the bowl again. So that's,
I feel like you've been watching me lately. No, I'm just kidding. I don't eat cereal anymore,
but you can have grainless granola.
That's right.
Anyway.
30 clean.
Yeah, approved. So first what I do is I'm looking at the ingredients. So I thought this was healthy. Maybe I don't have a problem with any grains. So it's pretty good. It's got some grains in it. But one of the ingredients in here is actually brown rice syrup.
Okay, so that's brown rice, right? Like that's a grain. I'm healthy with that.
Okay, but anytime you hear the word syrup,
just
think sugar. So that's the first time sugar is mentioned with it being hidden and you not understanding that it's sugar.
Okay.
So after that, it's dried cane syrup. So we know that cane sugar is sugar. It comes from the cans, like from Hawaii.
Right.
So syrup, another form, and anytime you see the word syrup, think sugar.
Okay. So that's it, right? No more sugar for granola because it's healthy. We're good to go.
You would think so, but then towards the end, we also have honey. That's 3 times the word sugar in hidden language is in your ingredient list, okay? So then we go up here and we look at the serving size. It's 2/3 cup, which that's actually a pretty decent amount, but normally...
You know you're putting in more than that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And for 1 serving, there are 12 grams of sugar. Molly, how many times does 4 go into 12?
3?
Nice job.
Nice.
Okay, so let's show us what that looks like. And we haven't added our almond milk yet, FYI.
So 1, Oh gosh, 2. I should have done a heavier one on that one. And then 3. Okay, what about the almond milk?
Okay, so now we have poured our bowl of granola and we're going to add almond milk, which in 1 cup of almond milk, and this is original, okay? It doesn't say vanilla. Usually with vanilla it's sweetened even more, but you have 7 grams of sugar in 1 cup.
Okay,
Again,
so
a cup is usually about what people will pour. However, some people really like to pour it to the top of that bowl, and then once it gets all like, you know, yummy and delicious, they drink and finish it.
I'm gonna do 1 and a little bit. How about that?
That sounds good. That's being really delicate with the situation.
So very delicate with the sugar.
Okay.
Okay.
That's breakfast.
Okay.
However, and those are added sugars. You can imagine too that somebody that just had that breakfast may add like a banana or an apple. So we've got some sugars in there. We won't even count those because that's not added sugars.
Okay, and can we talk about this super beat up box of
yeah.
Cheerios protein that you've clearly been storing in your car?
We can. I have this here because, again, this is when things are hidden and we are unaware and uneducated. A lot of people would look at this and be like, I know I'm supposed to have protein. Like, protein's a great nutrient, a macronutrient, and I want more of it. So
Right.
here you have Cheerios, protein, yay, you know, 11 grams of protein, and then in smaller letters it says with milk. So it's showing you right then and there that, like, that's not even true. Like, you have to add the milk for added protein. So a lot of people would just buy this and be super excited and not look at the ingredients and not notice that the second ingredient is brown sugar.
Okay.
And not notice that the 4th ingredient is sugar, and not notice that the 5th ingredient is corn syrup, which is more sugar, and that molasses is in here, and that there's more caramelized sugar syrup in here. Oh, and then there's actually honey rice bran syrup. So you probably won't be surprised when you know that per 1 cup serving, 1 and 1/4 cup.
Okay, 1 and
1
1/4.
1/4, so that's like a pretty good bowl.
Right.
But it's 17 grams of sugar. So if
You're asking me to do major math right now.
No, because we're not gonna add that.
Oh, we're not adding that.
No, we're not
Okay,
adding
thank
that. But you
goodness.
should know. I mean, honestly, like, this is not healthy, and yet you look at this and you believe that Cheerios is like a really healthy brand because it's, you know, it's bran and it's gonna help your stomach and your digestive system, but
And we probably haven't even talked about the ingredients on there that aren't real in general.
right, I mean, it's sad. Like, the sugar situation is an issue.
Right.
So that's why it's a beat up box, never been opened.
Okay, let's move on to maybe what a lunch looks like.
Okay, so someone's already had their breakfast, and let me tell you, they probably are not satiated, first of all, because they haven't had any kind of like real nutrient in
So their
them.
body doesn't really understand. It's not, there's nothing feeding the body that the body's going, oh, nutrient, thank you so much.
Right, which is why we tell our challengers to really try to get something green into their meal or a vegetable in the morning, because that's really gonna provide you with some like high quality live nutrients.
Okay.
That's just a little tidbit, a little
Yeah.
piece of extra
Like
information.
that. Some more bonuses.
Oh, you know what we forgot to add? Who doesn't have coffee?
We have to add that.
you
Everybody
know,
has creamer
coffee,
and coffee.
and everyone thinks their creamers are great, and going back to your whole like low fat, non-fat queen stage.
Yes.
Fat free. So I mean, come on, how good could it be? It's caramel macchiato. And
I
it's,
think you pulled that out of my refrigerator circa like 3 years ago.
1980.
No, like 2 years ago.
yeah, 1980. Were you even born yet?
No, I wasn't. Thank you.
Okay, so what did I tell you about like flavor? When you take out fat,
You have to add flavor, and that means sugar? Okay.
so I'm not even gonna, actually, I'll just tell you the ingredients. The first ingredient is water. That's great. But the second
You're hydrating. Awesome.
the second ingredient is cane sugar, and the third ingredient is corn syrup.
Oh.
So sugar,
Okay.
and that's why in 1 tablespoon there's a whopping 5 grams of sugar, and I promise you,
Right.
most people do not just put in 1 tablespoon.
No, but we do get our 1 teaspoon
Yeah,
in the jar.
and a tiny little sprinkle more, because it's 5 grams of sugar. Tiny.
Okay.
Okay,
Good. All right.
so that's your breakfast. So for lunch, you know, let's just think that you're doing yogurt because you heard yogurt is healthy for you. You'd probably have it with fruit. Again, I'm not adding the fruit because fruit's not an added sugar. So let's
Right.
just go ahead and look at, Molly, I don't know, what do you like? Do you like vanilla or do you like cherry?
Oh, vanilla. I'm not a cherry fan.
Okay.
But I mean, if you are a cherry fan, that's great.
Well, I'm glad
Just a
you went with
fan.
vanilla because it's organic.
Oh.
And that's so important that the label says organic.
Well, I don't even need to know that because the top is green, so that means it's really good for me.
30 clean color.
Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to yogurt, it actually can have some good probiotics, and for people that don't have a dairy intolerance, good plain yogurt has a place for
Okay.
some people. However, what they don't have a place for is all the sugar in the flavored yogurts. So this is one container, which is good. A lot of times the serving size will be for 2, but you don't necessarily notice that. But it's 16 grams of sugar in this little thing.
Okay, so that's easy math. That's 4 scoops. Here we go.
4 teaspoons of sugar in this.
All right, keep going. What else are we having for lunch?
Well, I didn't have time to put a salad together or anything, so I'm just gonna grab one of these super healthy green drinks. Because aren't green drinks supposed to be healthy for you, right?
They're great for you.
I heard before that you should drink green juice.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna grab this because this, along with my yogurt and my fruit that I'm gonna be eating with it, is probably gonna be a great lunch.
Yes. No?
Well, let's see what's in your green machine.
I hope Naked doesn't come find us and get mad.
We love
at us.
Naked, just I'm gonna giving you an example.
Okay.
The one good thing is this is 1 serving. A lot of times you will be shocked because a lot of bottles, which I think our protein one. In case you wanted protein, you could also go with protein powder because people think that, you know, protein is important. This actually has 2 servings.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to really be cautious and look and see how many servings and servings. So this is, it looks good because there's apple juice, there's mango puree, there's pineapple juice, there's also natural flavors. And then as you get lower and lower.
What does that mean? You said natural flavors, like it was bad.
Okay, so anything that says natural flavors, here's the issue. It's natural, but it's still processed in a factory. If you notice, you'll probably drink a green machine from Naked 10 to 15 to 20 different times, and it's always gonna taste the same. If you have an apple or a banana or a pear, it's very highly that it will taste different each time.
Right.
So natural flavors is usually what gets the
Consistency?
brand. Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
okay.
So in this one for sugar, there is, can you just guess?
I'm gonna say it's healthy, like 5, 6, 7.
Okay, I'm just gonna have you guess a little higher.
Okay, 10, 12.
53.
And
53 grams of sugar.
That's crazy.
Again, it's all coming from fruit, but you've
4 goes
already
into
had
53.
16 here. So to make it simple, Molly, let's just
11,
say add
12.
10.
I'll add 10.
Add 10. We're gonna give you guys a break on this one.
Okay, thank you.
And just so you know too, in this one, it's 26 grams of sugar, but there's 2 servings in here. So if you drink the whole bottle, eek.
All right, you can move on. I'm just gonna keep going here.
Okay, so we've had our lunch and now it's time to go home. And most people, maybe they're working out or maybe they're just used to snacking, so they're probably gonna grab a snack. And I'm going towards the person that probably thinks they're being healthy, and I'm going to grab a Larabar, which we talk about on the challenge is emergency only, because the one good thing is Larabar, it's made out of real fruit and nuts. However, going back to the whole sugar talk, this has approximately 18 grams of sugar in 1 bar. So your snack now has added
and a little bit
more sugar to your daily sugar intake.
I can't even get into the bag because I'm running out of sugar.
Right.
Okay.
And in case you were going to have a snack with your child, because some people out there, you probably do have kids and you probably think you're being healthy. I'm not trying to say anything terrible about Lunchables, but I do want you to recognize that if this is a snack you're giving your children, you are also giving them something that is starting out with the word in the ingredients. The first thing is mechanically separated chicken.
Oh,
And the third ingredient is corn syrup.
oh.
And that's just in the meat. Not to mention the little cookie, the crackers, and the processed cheese.
I wish you could get a close-up of all the ingredients in there too.
Yeah, this is the whole entire ingredient list for this. And the amount of sugars in here is 11 grams of sugar. So just important to recognize. And a lot of times a parent would, and again, I'm not saying any of this to, I'm only trying to help and educate.
Right.
So you might pair it with an almond milk little like vanilla drink because it seems like a healthy
Right, you think it's
snack.
healthy.
Right, it's almond milk. Almond milk is popular right now, it's the latest trend. However, in this one little tiny thing, there's 15 grams of sugar. So your child has just had almost 20 grams of sugar for a snack.
And one great thing is we are going to be launching our family challenge in April, so stay tuned on that and we'll be talking about lots of great creative ideas for your kids on what to eat.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm just gonna quickly go on to dinner real quick. A quick dinner, a lot of people don't have time. They think that just doing like a pasta and maybe a salad with some juice would be easy.
Right.
What you don't recognize from this light, smart, traditional Prego pasta sauce is that many people will just pick it up because it looks good.
Well, because it says smart, and when I look at that, I think, I'm smart.
You
Prego is smart. We need to get together.
and be a pair.
Yes.
And it says 0 grams of fat, which of course fat is bad. So you definitely want this. 35% fewer calories. But what are we missing? What are we not looking at? Sugar. So if you go in here, most pasta sauces or tomato sauces, they will have sugar listed in the label because it's hopefully just coming from the tomatoes and the natural occurring sugars that are in the tomatoes. However, unfortunately, this brand does happen to put sugar in their sauce along with natural flavorings. So what the sugar content is for this, for a 1/2 cup serving, which hopefully you wouldn't use an entire 1/2 cup, but I've seen people probably use a cup or a cup and a
I dumped the whole thing. What are you talking about? 1/2 cup? I dumped the whole thing on it.
And let's not talk about the pasta that you're putting it on, which is, you know, just a flat carbohydrate with no nutrient in it, unless you're using spaghetti squash.
Right.
Which, are you?
Hopefully soon.
I know. So 7 grams of sugar.
Okay, so 7 grams, so I'm gonna do just 1.5 here.
1.5.
Okay, let's keep going with the
And
salad
then
now.
you're putting the salad together, which is super healthy and delicious and amazing because you're having, you know, all the greens and everything. And you chose a brand that said it's 30 calories, 95% less fat. Again, our mentality is to look at fat. No preservatives, no artificial colors or flavors. Balsamic, everybody knows that like balsamic's supposed to be super healthy. However, even in the serving size, which is barely a little over a tablespoon, there's 5 grams of sugar. So,
all right, so I'll do another big scoop here.
yep.
Okay,
And then last but not least, a lot of times you get home at the end of the day, you definitely, well, you might be drinking wine, but if you're not drinking
There's nothing wrong with
wine,
that. What are you trying to say?
usually what happens is beverages consist of either orange juice
Yeah.
or some kind of nut milk or regular milk.
Right.
Let's say you were just gonna have some orange juice.
Okay.
Okay, and let's say you were only gonna have half of this. Even though this is 1 serving, let's just say you were just gonna have like an 8-ounce glass. What do you think?
You always get me with those juices, so I don't know. Maybe 10 grams.
Okay, and there's natural flavors,
Yeah.
so it's not really real. 25 grams.
Okay, so 4, 6. Here we go. All right, is that it? Are we done, Heather? Because
I think
I'm
we're
telling
done
you, I'm out of
because
sugar.
we're just hopefully assuming that this person who just had this day in the life of
Getting this
a
everywhere
meal
now.
decides that they don't even want dessert.
Right, or like the chips that we have here and other things we haven't talked
The
about.
chips, you know, because at the end of the day, you feel like you deserve to sit down on the couch and watch TV and have your favorite whatever it is. Maybe it's even you're being healthy and you decide you're just gonna have another yogurt, which that would be another 16 grams of sugar. So another 4 would go in there.
Okay.
But we don't even have to do it. We're gonna be like kind and say this person is like not a dessert person.
Yeah, so
It's not me.
This is a lot of sugar for one day to go
One
into
day.
somebody. Definitely not the recommended amount. So
Yeah.
what are we talking about here, Heather?
I mean, Molly, seriously, what this comes down to is this. The more label-free foods you can eat, the better.
Right.
But when you do buy an item with a label, there are some things that we just really want you to be conscious of and we want you to avoid.
Okay.
So all of the eliminated food groups that don't be tricked by the common additives like corn syrup, cornstarch, anything that's syrupy.
Right.
You know, make sure you're staying away from ingredients that you can't pronounce, which on a lot of these things like carrageenan, that's a hard one. We want to stay away from it. You want to really be cautious about anything that has added chemicals, added colorings, even things that say natural flavors. And above all, as we've showed you, sugar and sweeteners really, really come in many different forms and under many different names. So be label conscious. Definitely check for things. And again, we're gonna provide you with a list of names in our resources that sugar hides under, so you'll be able to see that. There's just a couple, all those little things will help you to be more customer savvy and more consumer conscious.
Yeah, I love it. So just because something says organic, all natural, doesn't mean it's a great food choice. There's people out there who are trying to trick us, maybe there's buzzwords. Please do not fall victim to this, you guys.
Yeah.
Read the ingredient list to make an informed decision about whether it's something that you want to be putting in your body. Weed out the foods that don't belong in your clean lifestyle. And like we said before, we love food.
Love it.
But the reality is there's a lot of bad information out there when it comes to your health and nutrition.
Exactly. So now that you've seen how we coach and teach people within our challenges how to actually read and understand what's going in their food, you know, we've got an exercise that you can do at home with your family.
Yeah, so below, find a free resource which we created specifically for you and your family that will serve to act as a guide for you on how to avoid the label trap.
Exactly. It's going to be really exciting. After you've downloaded this resource, be sure to go through the exercises over the next few days and share in Facebook comments below what you're learning when it comes to actually understanding what's in your food.
Yeah, it's super important. I hope you guys have taken a lot from this. And stay tuned for video number 3, where we'll share an actual exercise that has the power to transform your life in 2016.
Awesome. See you then.
All right, thanks guys.